अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। थैंक यू सो मच।
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. So, did you give me the permission to show my screen, Babuji? You are on mute, Babuji. You're on mute.
Yes, you can share your screen, Mataji.
Okay.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Babuji. Can you see my screen?
Yes. Very visible.
Hold on. Okay, so Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please kindly accept my humble obeisances or go to Srila Prabhupada. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you. So, yeah, thank you all. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much. Today, we're going to dive again on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 15, verse 34. I hope I can do justice to this beautiful verse. And I'm going to read the verse, and then we are going to read the translation and the purport of Srila Prabhupada. So I'll try. Verse 34. Tadvamamushya paramashya vaikunta bratuh kartum prakristam ihadhimahi mandadibhyam lokanito vrajatam antarabhava dristya papi yasastrayaime ripavosha yatra. So we'll go on the translation. Can anyone read the translation, please? Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Yes,
Hare
please.
Krishna.
Yes, please.
Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Therefore, let us consider how these two contaminated persons should be punished. The punishment should be apt, for thus benefit can actually be bestowed upon them. Since they find duality in the existence of Vaikuntha life, they are contaminated and should be removed from the place to the material world, where the living entities have the three kinds of enemies. Hare Krishna.
Can you read the purport also, Prabhuji?
Yes. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The reason why pure souls come into existence, into existential circumstances of the material world, which is considered to be the criminal department of the Supreme Lord, is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, verse 27. It is stated that as long as a living entity is pure, he is in complete harmony with the desires of the Supreme Lord. But as soon as he becomes impure, he is in disharmony with the desires of the Lord. By contamination, he is forced to transfer to this material world, where the living entities have three enemies, namely desire, anger, and lust. The three enemies force the living entity to continue material existence, and when one is free from them, he is eligible to enter the kingdom of God. One should not, therefore, be angry in the absence of an opportunity for self-gratification. One should not, therefore, be angry in the absence of an opportunity for self-gratification, and one should not be lusty to acquire more than necessary. In this verse, it is clearly stated that the two doormen should be sent into the material world, where criminals are allowed to reside. Since the basic principle of criminality are sense gratification, anger, and unnecessary lust, persons contacted by the three enemies of the living entity are never promoted to Vaikuntha Loka. People should learn Bhagavad Gita and accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and as the Lord of everything. They should practice satisfying the senses of the Supreme Lord instead of trying to satisfy their own senses. Training in Krishna consciousness will help one to be promoted in Vaikuntha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you. So I would like to share my screen now. Okay, can you see properly?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Once again. Okay, thank you. Thank you for Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you again for giving me the opportunity today to say something on this verse. I will repeat whatever our previous acharyas have said, and if I am correct, all credit goes to them, and any shortcomings will be my mistake. So I'll start with some prayers first, right? ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते कृष्णदास्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिसतारिणे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dina Taranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Shunvatam Sakatha Krishna Punya Savana Kirtanaha Hridiyantaha Stohiha Bhadrani Vidunoti Suritsatam Nashtapraisha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttam Slokir Bhaktir Bhavatir Naishtike Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are talking about the description of the kingdom of God. And in this chapter, we read about the four Kumaras going to visit Lord Vishnu in the Vaikuntha Loka. So they were told about the opulence of Vaikuntha and about the beauty of Lord Narayana by Narad Muni. Actually, first they were impersonalist. They realized the Brahman future only, not the supreme personality of Godhead. So they wanted to see the Lord in person. That's why they went to Vaikuntha Loka. And what happened when they went to the four Kumaras, actually they are Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara. So they were great jnanis, like they were absorbed in knowledge. They only had the knowledge side, which is sometimes not good to have only knowledge, not to realize a lot, but they were on that side. And so what happened? They were so engrossed in knowledge, and when they heard Narad Muni, they decided to go and see the Lord. And when they reached Vaikuntha, and as they smelled the fragrance of tulsi leaves from the Lord Lotus feet, then all the contamination of impersonalism was gone. They then realized that yes, the Lord is a person, he's not only the effulgence. And at the beginning of the journey to Vaikuntha, they cross 6 gates of Vaikuntha easily, and nobody stopped them. But when they reach the 7 gates where Lord Narayana resides, there the 2 doorkeepers, Jaya and Vijaya, stop them from going inside. So, and here let us see what text 34 tell us what happens further. Right? Okay, so when they were stopped from going inside, the four Kumaras, they found the behavior of the doorkeepers inappropriate. They thought, how come they are living in Vaikuntha and their behavior, and their behavior is manifesting duality? Why they are not allowing us to go in? Oh, they must be contaminated, and they are not qualified to be resident of Vaikuntha Loka. Therefore, they should be removed from Vaikuntha and sent to material world as punishment. That was their belief, right? So in the material world, duality is very prominent. We know that. Why? It's like we have happiness versus distress, we have success and failure, we have honor and dishonor, friends and enemies, heat and cold. So there are so many dualities. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in this Bhagavad Gita verse in the purport. So he will tell you what happens. Srila Prabhupada mentioned this verse. So I would like to request someone to read the verse and the translation, please. Gayatri Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji, sure
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Bhagavad Gita 7.27 Ichchadvesha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata sarvabhutani sampramoha sarge yanti parantapa. Translation: O descendant of Bharata, all living entities are bewildered in this material world due to desire and hatred, which give rise to the illusion of duality. Thus, they are born again and again in this material creation. O scorcher of foes. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. So as we all know, this material world is created by the Supreme Lord. And all the living entities who are not qualified to reside in Vaikuntha, they are sent here in this material world. Now, why we are not qualified to reside in Vaikuntha? It's just because we were envious of the Lord. We want to enjoy as he does. So he sent us here. He said, go, enjoy, and suffer according to your karma. That's why this material world is built, right? So in the material world, we also get the opportunity to fulfill our desires. As Shri Krishna has given us the free will. We know he has given us a free will, so you do whatever you want, right? That's also he told Arjuna at the end of Bhagavad Gita. He said, now I have delivered the whole thing to you. It's up to you to decide what you want to do, right? So in Vaikuntha, there's nothing as anger. Everything that happened between the Kumaras and the doorkeepers were merely the desire of the Lord. The Lord had tasted all the rasas, right? Like he wanted to, like the rasas are the flavors of divine emotion and relationship, but he hasn't tasted the fighting one. So he wanted to have the experience of fighting with someone, but with whom? With whom to fight? Who were more qualified than his two doorkeepers, right? And they were nearly as strong as the Lord himself, very well built, with whom the Lord could enjoy that virya rasa, that chivalrous pastime. So he could wrestle with them, and he knew that. So let's see what our previous acharyas say about this incident, about what is being told here. So Srila Prabhupada repeatedly explains that the entire incident was arranged by Lord Narayana. Although externally it appears that Jaya and Vijaya committed an offense, internally it was a desire of the Lord to have these two personalities as his opponents for his future incarnations. In Vaikuntha, everyone serves the Lord with love and reverence. There is no envy, no hatred, and no demons there. So these two personalities had to come to the material world as the Lord would also come for his future pastimes. And then first, we know they came out as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, second as Ravan and Kumkara, and then third they came as Shishupal and Dantavakra. And these were the free births that the Lord had chosen for them. But when the Lord came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they saw how compassionate he was. These two doorkeepers requested the Lord to allow them to come and participate in his Leela again. And so they came as Jagai and Madai. In the Gaur Leela, the Lord did not kill them. He reformed them. In the past three Leelas, the Lord killed them. Right? Further, now we see Srila Jiva Goswami explained that pure devotees cannot truly fall from Vaikuntha. Jaya and Vijay were not overcome by Maya. Rather, Yoga Maya temporarily covered their awareness so they could participate in the Leela of the Lord. They were not ordinary conditioned souls. They were very highly elevated souls, right? And then we see Sridhar Swami. Let's see what Sridhar Swami explained. He explained that the four Kumaras were not motivated by anger as ordinary people. Their apparent curse was actually a divine will, and the curse itself became a blessing. Sometimes the Lord speaks through his devotee to accomplish his own purpose. These two great souls, they get to interact directly with the Supreme Lord. They get to kind of play with him in a way, right? So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he wonderfully explains that the four Kumaras acted out of devotion. Jaya and Vijay acted out of devotion. Lord Narayana acted out of devotion. Everyone was serving the Lord's desire. right? And then we can see externally, there appeared to be conflict, but internally, everyone was cooperating with Sri Krishna's plan. This is one of the most beautiful contradictions of the transcendental pastime. It's, we have to understand this, right? So what this interaction teaches us here is like several wonderful timeless lessons here. We should never judge spiritual events only by their external appearances. That is, sometimes we just have to say something. We get the urge to say something, but we have to check before we see the real uh, meaning of this disappearance here, of what is happening here. So, and Vaishnava's etiquette is extremely important, which we should always adhere to. We should listen, we should understand, and before we talk, we just not open our mouths here and there. So even we see great devotees they remain humble amidst all kinds of calamities. They don't get like disturbed. Like Jayan Vijay, they didn't get disturbed. They accepted the curse, right? So the Lord protects all his devotees as he promised in Bhagavad Gita. We know in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, okay, Jai and Vijay were great devotees, so the Lord had to protect them. And at the same time, he had to accept the curse of the Fokumaras because that was his will. He wanted to come down to have a fight with these two personalities. So we know in Bhagavad Gita, what does he says in chapter 18, verse 66? Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarve papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. That's a Lord promise. So he has a plan. He will make a good plan for us. So apparent reversals sometimes may actually be divine arrangement, which we cannot see at the time when we are going through reversals. We think, okay, why me? What's happening to me? But the Lord, he can transform even a curse into a blessing, right? So this curse that is supposedly to be a curse to the two doorkeepers, it is a blessing in disguise, as we say. So now let's see why the Kumaras described the material world as a place where the soul encounters the free enemies. And what are the free enemies? Right, so the four Kumaras said that the punishment will benefit the two doorkeepers. The four Kumaras did not curse Jayan Vijay out of anger or revenge. You know, as liberated devotees, they desired only the eternal welfare of the doorkeepers. They understood that an appropriate punishment would remove the slight contamination that had entered the hearts of the two individuals. And then being sent to the material world was not meant to destroy them, but to purify them. By repeatedly remembering the Lord, even in apparent opposition, they would quickly exhaust the result of the curse and return to Vaikuntha. Furthermore, we see that the Lord himself accepted the curse because he knew it would ultimately glorify both his devotees and his own transcendental pastimes. So we have the example of Kamsa. He was 24 hours he was thinking about Krishna. And when Krishna killed him, he merged into the body of Krishna. Shishupal, the same thing. Because even if they are against the Lord, they are thinking of him, how to kill him, but they are thinking of him, even in a negative way, they are still thinking of him, right? So here, the lesson here for us is that sometimes mercy comes in a form that we don't immediately recognize. The Lord uses even difficulties to purify his devotees. When we receive correction given by saintly persons, we should know that it is for our spiritual progress and not for humiliation. And then temporary suffering can produce eternal benefit when it actually be the Lord's arrangement. It is for our advancement. And here we can give the example of Kunti Maharani, when she had so many problems in life, never be happy. And then when she was settled, she told Krishna, Krishna says, ask for something. She said, give me more problem in life. Because when we are in problems, we think about the Lord more. When we are happy, we're merry, we have everything, we don't think about the Lord, right? So that's why Kunti Maharani said. And then Srila Prabhupada used to say, punishment should be accepted as a mercy of the Lord because it is meant to rectify the conditioned soul and bring him back to his original Krishna consciousness. Also, we see that the four Kumaras did not ask, how can we punish them? They asked what will ultimately benefit them. That is the difference between ordinary justice and transcendental compassion. They were not angry, they just wanted to kind of put these two guys straight in a way. So as we know, we are all part and parcel of Krishna, and we are meant to give pleasure to Krishna. That state where we give pleasure to Krishna is called living in harmony with the Lord. That is our real constitutional position that the Lord tries to bring us back to. So instead, what do? We try different ways to be happy, to be the enjoyer and the controller. And time again, we are frustrated. Just to give us hope, illusion is created like, oh, if you do this, you'll be happy. This person has controlled things. He is happy. And if you also try to control things, we also will be happy. And we see so many success coaches. They are there. They're trying to put more illusion into our mind. But Krishna ultimately says in Bhagavad Gita 7:19, I think, what did he say? Bahunam janmanamante janavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. After many, many births and deaths, he who is actually knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and the end, all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. And now, let's see the three enemies of the material world. So here we see that the four Kumara decided to send the two doorkeepers to the material world, as they thought that the intelligence of the two doorkeepers were contaminated and they were not fit to stay in Vaikuntha. Now, why this material world is called a place of punishment? According to people, this world is a place of enjoyment. When Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that he is a Guru Maharaj of Srila Prabhupada, he used to say that this material world is not a place for gentlemen to live. So Srila Prabhupada explained that in the material world, the living entities are attacked by three enemies, which are lust, anger, and greed. And why they are called our enemies? Well, greatest enemies. Why they are called? Because they steal. And what do they steal from us? These three enemies, they steal our devotional life. They steal it. We want recognition, right? But we want always recognition. I want, if I do a little service, I want to kind of, I want to be recognized, We are not appreciated if we are not, for the sevas that we do, we're not happy. When we compare ourselves with other devotees, that is also enemy. When we develop greed for prestige or possession, that is also our enemy, right? So instead, what should we do? We should cultivate humility. We should be ready for any service, always in service mode. We should never wait to be recognized or praised. Actually, this morning I was reading a very nice article or writing that one of the hosts in the UK sent on a chat group, explaining all the knowledge that we have. It's not from the Vaikuntha Loka. It's from this material world. So we have to transcend this. We have to go higher. Because here, when we are doing a little thing, we want recognition. Everybody's praising us. Oh, you got this nice, or you do this nice, or you are good at talking, you do good. But we should not, because praise, praise is a thing that brings us down. Actually, that is the biggest thing that we should never wait for. We should never wait to be recognized or praised. Actually, this is something difficult to accept. But when we are being praised, this is the biggest chance for our fall down. So we should be happy with whatever comes on its own accord. Srila Prabhupada always said, simple living and high thinking. Be happy with whatever comes our way and thank Sri Krishna always. Be humble, be compassionate, and ready to help others whenever needed. And when our desires are centered on serving Sri Krishna, lust gradually transform into pure love, into prema. That is what we are uh, working toward. So everyone rejoices in the happiness of the Lord and his devotees, like in Vaikuntha, where everyone desires only one thing, and that is to lovingly serve Lord Narayana. There is no selfish desires, there is no frustration, no envy, no competition, no greed. Everyone leads sublime life, and we are all happy there. So the four Kumaras had already conquered lust, greed, and anger. That's why they could reach Vaikuntha. Jaya and Vijaya momentarily acted under the influence of pride, which the Lord then used that incident to unfold his divine pastimes. Why it is said that compared to this material world, Vaikuntha is a state of pure consciousness. It is said that. So let's see what it means. Oh, sorry, I forgot to read these verses. Okay, let me read. Verse 2.62, what is it? Dhyayato vishayan pumsa sangaste te supajayate sangat sanjayate kama kamat krodo bijayate. The translation is, while contemplating the object of senses, a person develops that attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises. And then 2.63, it says, Krodat bhavati sammoha, sammoha smriti vibrammaha, smriti brahmasad buddhi naso, buddhi nasad pranashyati. And translated was, from anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down into the material pool. So that is what it is about, the anger and growth and anger, envious and delusion and all. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. Vaikuntha is a state of pure consciousness. So we see Vaikuntha is not simply a beautiful place. It is a place where every thought, every word, and every action is centered on pleasing Lord Narayana. That is why lust, anger, and greed cannot exist there. The atmosphere of Vaikuntha is created by pure devotion. Here, in the material world, people think that wealth is money, right? But the greatest wealth is freedom from the material desires. That should be our greatest wealth. Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us that the greatest wealth is a heart free from material desires. A devotee who is satisfied in Krishna consciousness is richer than the wealthiest persons in the world. When we practice this Krishna consciousness, when we are satisfied in ourselves, whatever we have, we should consider ourselves the richest person, right? So material life begins with I and my. That's why you see, that is what lust, anger, and greed all come from thinking, this is mine. I deserve this. I want more. But in Vaikuntha, everyone knows that everything belongs to Narayana. He is the owner and the supreme master. That one change of consciousness changes everything. Srila Prabhupada often explained that we don't need to wait. We can begin living the life of Vaikuntha now itself, right? As devotees, we can chant together. You can hear Bhagavatam classes that we do every day. Worship the Lord, serve without selfish motives. And while practicing these qualities, we can experience a glimpse of Vaikuntha. That is not my word, this is Srila Prabhupada's word. That's what he said, right? Now, the four Kumaras, they prove a beautiful point here. Although they looked like 5-year-old boys, they were the greatest sages. This teaches us that spiritual qualification is not measured by age, appearance, or social position. It is simply measured by the purity of the heart. Even a small fault has big meaning in Vaikuntha. You know, Jayan Vijaya's behavior was unusual because pride doesn't normally exist in Vaikuntha. The Lord allowed this event only to begin his wonderful incarnations, such as Varaha, Nrsimha, and Lord Rama. Shows us that the Lord can turn even a mistake into a divine purpose. A mistake of the two doorkeepers coming down this material world, the Lord used it for a divine purpose. Now, question here, if Vaikuntha is free from lust, anger, and greed, what should we remove from our heart if we want to reside there one day? Can anybody tell me something?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
We have to remove those three only: lust, anger, and greed.
Yes, thank you. So when we start practicing these now itself, we have to. So we have to start practicing. And also one thing we should remember that Vaikuntha is not recognized by its golden palaces. It is recognized by the pure hearts of its residents. So we have first of all to clean our heart. We have to ask Lord Balaram every morning, please clean my heart from all the anarthas. He will clean. Lord Balaram has got the hull, you know, the plow. He will pull all the anarthas out of our heart. We have to ask him every morning. So now, every day we have two choices, right? First is to follow lust, anger, and greed. And second is to follow hearing, chanting, and serving. One path keeps us in the material world, and the other path prepares us gradually to enter Vaikuntha, the blissful eternal life. And we should also remember that the journey to Vaikuntha begins long before we leave this material world. It's not like tomorrow, I know now I have got a disease and doctors condemn me, but I'm going to die in 2 days, 4 days, so let me start chanting now. No, it begins the day we decide to replace lust with love, anger with forgiveness, and greed with service to Lord Narayana. Now, if we have time, I would like to quickly discuss a little on the benefit of curse. So probably we have time. I think we have time.
Yes, Mataji, we have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So let's quickly see the benefit of curse. Sometimes when somebody is cursed, we say, oh, that is bad. And also I was listening to a recording of a class in UK, and the people were asking the question, why so many curses? And the speaker didn't have an answer for that. But if you ask me this question, I'll give an answer according to my understanding why. Okay, so let's see the benefit of curse. We have seen throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are curses. Actually, the narration of Srimad Bhagavatam itself is started by the curse of Parikshit Maharaj by Shringi Rishi, right? And we see after the sages of Dharmisaranya asks question of they ask this question from Sutta Goswami, then the story of Parikshit Maharaj will start, right? So we should know that without these curses, the glorious teachings and pastime of the Lord with his great devotees would never have been revealed. even exalted personalities accept the result of a curse without resentment. You know, when the great personalities like Parikshit Maharaj, he didn't try to retaliate. Instead, he accepted the curse as a Lord's arrangement, and he dedicated the remaining 7 days of his life to hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, which is actually so beneficial to all of us, right? So Parikshit Maharaj, he left everything, and he just went by the river just to listen to the Bhagavatam, and the Bhagavatam was narrated then to him so that we can get the benefits. So the Lord wanted to have Parikshit in his abode, because if Parikshit was in the material world, Kali would not be able to follow its course, which would have disrupted the balance of the cosmic manifestation. Because the 4 yugas, they have to come and go as they are aligned by the order of the Lord. So if Parikshit Maharaj was still there, if instead of accepting the curse, he had counter-cursed, and he had that capacity of counter-cursing. But he did not. He accepted it. He said, okay, I have lived enough. And he was young. He was not an old 90 years old or whatever. He was quite young. And he accepted the curse. And then he went to the Lord's abode. Other thing is, because he was, is that a curse is not greater than the Lord's mercy. Parikshit Maharaj, he was the great grandson of Arjuna, and Arjuna was the best friend of Krishna. So Parikshit Maharaj, he was saved in the womb by the Lord. He could have been saved then and there also, but he did not accept it. He said, no, I want to go. And then he accepted. So, and here we see another thing is that a curse is not greater than the Lord's mercy. So Prabhupada repeatedly shows that the Lord's grace surpasses any curse, right? The curse may affect the body or the external circumstances, but cannot destroy our devotion. Many times devotees see adversity as mercy, and they try to seek what Krishna is teaching us through this, what Krishna is telling me here. Every curse in Srimad Bhagavatam carries a lesson. The purpose is never merely punishment. It is to purify the heart, to correct pride, to increase devotion. Mostly, it is to reveal the Lord's compassion and to benefit countless future generations. So I have chosen these 3 or 4 of these episodes from Srimad Bhagavatam. So let's see. The first one on the top left side is where Parikshit Maharaj is putting a snake around the neck of Shamika Rishi. And he is in trance. He does not know. And the king was there. Actually, a king should be welcomed. But then Parikshit Maharaj, as he already had encountered Kali, and Kali had asked to stay in gold. So Kali jumped on his crown. His crown was made of gold. So Kali was on his head, and Kali wanted him to do something wrong. So what he did wrong, he just picked a dead snake and put it around the sage neck. And because he saw that the sage has not honored him, has ignored him. So he did that. And the sage didn't do anything. But then we can see there are some 2 people at the back in the picture. These were the friends of the sage son, Shringi Rishi. So they went to tell him that somebody had put a snake around your father's neck. Here we know half information is bad information. It's dangerous information. They didn't tell that the snake was dead. Nothing would have happened. But then they said that somebody had put a snake around your father's neck, and Shringi Rishi, who was only 7 years old, so powerful, and he was playing around the river. He just took some water in his hand and he cursed. He said, whoever done that, they're going to die in 7 days. And everything started from there. And then the other story is, I'm sure most of you know it, is the story of the elephant Gajendra. And Gajendra, who was he? He was a famous king, the king Indradumna. He left his palace, his family, his treasury, his soldiers, practically everything to go in the forest for meditation. But then he was cursed by a sage called Agastya. Agastya Rishi, who was passing by in the forest, and again, the king Indradumna, he was in trance. He did not realize that somebody is coming or going here. And the sage got angry because you are ignoring me, right? That is also something of pride. So, and then he cursed, you're sitting like an elephant, become an elephant. So here, again, why he was cursed? What was God's plan behind the curse? The Lord wanted the king to go to the kingdom, to his kingdom faster, because King Indradumna was a great devotee. And if he was in this world for longer, when would he go? So that the Lord make something bad happen so that that will push the person, the individual, to pray more ardently, and then they'll go to the Lord faster. And we know Gajendra's moksha, the stuti is very beautiful. It's one of my favorites. And then he became an elephant, and from there he was saved by Lord Vishnu when he was attacked by a crocodile in the pond. So this is a story of Gajendra. And then the bottom left is a two sons of Kuvera. They are Nala Kuvera and Manigriva. Kuvera is a treasurer of the demigod. And these two personalities, they were cursed by Narad Muni. Why they were cursed by Narad Muni? Because they were bathing in the river naked and they were enjoying with some woman. And Narad Muni, who is a great sage, was passing by. These two persons, they didn't show respect. They continued, they were intoxicated because Kuvera and Lord Shiva, they are two great friends. So Lord Shiva allowed these two sons of Kuvera to come to Kailash and to enjoy themselves there. And they were bathing in Kailash. And then Narad Muni went to see Lord Shiva, and he on his way he saw these two living entities. So he wanted to save them because he saw them going down hell. So then he said, no, you have to be saved, but how to save them? They were so intoxicated. If Narad Muni would have spoken to them, they wouldn't understand, they wouldn't listen. So he said the best way is to give a punishment, to curse them. When a curse is occurred, people come to their senses immediately. We have seen that. So then when they asked for forgiveness, then the Lord said, okay. Narad Muni said, okay, the Lord himself will come and liberate you. And the curse they got, but they got to see Lord Krishna's childhood pastimes, and also they got liberated by the Lord himself. What is greater than that? 100 years being a tree and then getting to see the Lord. That is the best thing could have happened. And then the last picture here at the bottom is a goddess Parvati. She is cursing the king Chitraketu. Another beautiful story. And King Chitraketu, he was just roaming around in his airplane, and he was enjoying with some apsaras, some damsel from the heavenly planet, and he saw Lord Shiva narrating the Bhagavatam, the Krishna Katha, but Mother Parvati was sitting on his lap. So Chitraketu and Lord Shiva, they are friends. And from his airplane, Chitraketu just smiled and said, Lord Shiva, even during Katha, you have to have your wife on your lap. And then Parvati got very angry and she cursed. She cursed King Chitraketu and tell him, you are acting like a demon, so I curse you to become a demon. And then Chitraketu, he came down from his airplane and he asked for forgiveness, and he told Mother Parvati that I accept your curse. I accept your curse. And then we know he had, in his second birth, he became a demon called Vritrasura. And then he had to fight with Indra. But Indra was fighting with him, and Indra saw that he was a winner because Vritrasura was, all the time that they were fighting, Vritrasura was thinking about the Lord only, taking the Lord's name. And he left his body, but Indra thought he was a winner because the opponent died, right? But Vritrasura was thinking about the Lord all through the fight, so when he left his body, he went directly to the kingdom of the Lord. Whereas King Indra stayed in the material world, always suffering and enjoying, yes. There is always fear of the demons of attacking his kingdom. He's always fearful. We see so many places, so many demons attacking the kingdom and so many things happening. So I think I will stop here, and I will say Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And I will say thank you everyone for putting up with me, for attending this this class today. And if you have any questions, any comments, or any criticism, please go ahead. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
The 6 enemies, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, and Matsarya. Out of 3, the first 3, Kam, Krodh, and Lobh, greed. This is in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned, these 3 are always paving the path to hell.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Now, how we can easily come out of these 3 enemies?
Prabhuji, it is not easy. You said easily. Nothing is easy in this world. So what we have to do, we have to make sure that we are in good association, first of all, right? And we have to follow the Krishna conscious path, because it's like Sir Prabhupada say, if you want to become a drunkard, you associate with drunkard. If you want to smoke, you associate with somebody who's smoking. But if we want to kind of get out of these 6 anarthas, we have to make efforts. Nothing will come on its own accord here. We have to make sure that, yes, I want to live it. And we have to be with like-minded people. We cannot be with people who are practicing these things, because nobody can say in this world that I don't tell lies. Nobody can say that. Can anybody say I don't tell lies? And I think not telling the truth all the time, that is also good. Now ask me why. Ask me why. Suppose we know, like, a butcher is running after a cow, and we saw the cow going, and the butcher asks us, where has the cow gone? And we tell, okay, the cow has gone this way. The butcher go and kill the cow. Who is getting the papa? Me, because here I can tell lies, but not for petty things. This is kind of genuine things that is happening. And practicing it, we start from home. We don't have to go outside. We tell ourselves, in our mind, I don't know, 60 or 70 or 80 thousands thoughts are coming every minute, every day in our minds. So as soon as some bad thought come into our mind, shake our head. No, I don't want that. It happens to me every single minute. What happened? Who told me what? What is going on? Why did this person say that? Why is this person say that to me? Then I say, no, stop. Hare Krishna, start immediately. Maha mantra is going. Srila Prabhupada has given us his Maha mantras. Lord Chaitanya has come and given, not for like just chant 16. That is, we are not chanting, we are counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, stop. No, every minute, every second, it should be there. It should be on the tip of our tongue. If we are, anything we are doing, sometimes we are tired, right? We don't want to chachandon. Listen, Shravanam comes first. So many beautiful classes are online. So many speakers are talking about so many things. Read, practice it, put it into practice first. And then with whoever we are, we are connecting with people, whoever we are going with, we are talking to, make sure that they start practicing. Because if we are practicing this, we're trying to do something good, and some other people are trying to tell us whatever they are doing, then we will go back to square one, back to zero. It is not going to happen immediately, Prabhuji. We have to practice it. We have to put our effort into it. And habits, wake up early, have shower, eat sattvic food, whatever we offer to the Lord, that will clean our body, our mind, our heart, our senses. Mahaprasadam. That will help. Prabhuji, if you have something else, go ahead, add it, please. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Actually, when I am preaching, during the preaching, so many people ask that how we can overcome the easily. See, this is Kali Yuga. Everybody wants everything easily.
You don't know
Therefore,
easy
I
things.
use that word. But the answer you gave is perfect, which I am giving to them. Yeah, but it is very hard to them to accept. Right? Yeah. Thank you very much, Mataji.
But
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, prasadam. Tell them prasadam. Chanting and prasadam. It will help. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah, Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that beautiful discourse, and also showing us really how we can transform some situations that are quite difficult to find ourselves in as cases, and they can be actually be great blessings in disguise. And then a number of pastimes you've really given us. And also whatever state we are in this material world, it's quite a very uncomfortable state. As you reminded us, but this data said it's not a really good place for a gentleman. And you challenged us to try to be gentlemen and try to get out of this place. And also, we try to transform this last greed and anger into hearing more service and more chanting. Thank you. It's a very profound class, and we are all challenged. Thank you. I would like, is there any person in the group who have a comment or a question? Maybe before we end. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. If there's no comment, I think we should end the session.
Yeah. Mataji, you can end the session first today. Hare Krishna.
So thank you so much for attending, all of you. I hope there's something that you can take away from the talk today. And I hope that the Lord really bless all of us so that we can, if not completely take out, minimize the anarthas that are in our hearts since time immemorial. It is not something that has been created in this lifetime. We carry these imprints from lifetimes and lifetimes. But now that we have got this human form of life, and most beautifully is that we are connected to Krishna consciousness, we have all the scriptures, and Srila Prabhupada has so nicely translated into English, which is an international language. Everybody can read. Different languages also are there. So please, I will request everyone to take advantage of the writings of Srila Prabhupada and to start putting into practice what is written there and preparing ourselves to go to the beautiful abode of the Lord, which is Vaikuntha. And actually, Vaikuntha is not the final one. Vaikuntha is a place where we got training, then to go to Goloka. Vaikuntha world is 3/4, and this material world is 1/4. That means that there are more living entities there than here. So what are we doing here? We should join them and be happy ever after. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful session. Again, beautiful, beautiful slides as always. Such very, very beautiful slides and lot of things that we learned today as well. Mataji, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for attending, Mataji. Thank you, Hare Krishna. You are a big support. You know that.
Mataji,
Thank you.
We can kindly all unmute. We chant one round of the Mahamantra in glorification of our grace in the Devi. That's your matters.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Kalpatarubhyascha kripa
Patitanam
Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Indulekha Devi Mataji ki
Ananda Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. All of you ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving me opportunity, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji.